Okay, so you're trying to drop into Warzone right now
Mm.
and finding, well, nothing. Just a blank screen, maybe?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone there. The Call of Duty Warzone servers are down. But hold on, this isn't just your usual Tuesday night hiccup.
No, not at all.
This is for something, something big, something a lot of you have been waiting for. Verdansk is coming back.
That's right. Yeah, this isn't some quick hot fix or a minor patch. We're looking at a full 24-hour downtime. It started April 2nd, running until 9 a.m. Pacific time on April 3rd.
Wow, 24 hours.
Yeah, and that kind of long way, it's rare for Warzone. It's actually only the second time we've seen this happen,
Yeah.
which, well, it really tells you how massive this update is.
Exactly. I mean, after all this time, what is it, nearly 4 years,
Yeah.
the map where so many of us, cut our teeth in Battle Royale, it's finally making a comeback. And this downtime, it's not just about flipping a switch, is it?
Oh, definitely not. Think of it more like the final setup for a huge party. You know, the
Ah,
developers using this window to really fine-tune everything. They want to make sure that when Verdansk does drop, it's the absolute best experience for you. They're integrating a ton of stuff, new and old, and, well, they want that first drop back in to feel smooth.
Yeah, and you can almost feel that anticipation building, can't you? It reminds me a bit of March 2020 when Warzone first launched.
Totally.
There was that same kind of buzz, that feeling like something huge was about to happen. And guess what? Right now, inside CFHQ, there's a countdown timer ticking away, just like back then.
Yeah, it's a clear callback.
It feels like a deliberate echo, trying to recapture that original excitement.
And what's really interesting there is how they're doing it. Putting that countdown right in CHQ, it's not just telling you when it's back. They're actively building hype. They're making this return feel like a real, moment in the game's history.
Absolutely. And speaking of moments, they're actually rewarding your patience, right?
Yeah.
There's a pretty sweet bonus if you head over to the COQ menu during this downtime.
Oh, yeah.
You get a free weapon, and not just any random gun, the iconic Kilo 141.
Ugh, the Kilo. Okay, yeah. For those of you who were around for the original Warzone, you'll definitely remember this AR from Modern Warfare 2019.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just, good. It was often dominant. It was a total staple in the meta, the most effective gear everyone uses. The Kilo was definitely one of those go-to weapons. Super accurate, reliable damage.
Totally. It felt like everyone had their perfect Kilo loadout back then. But okay, the nostalgia trip, it doesn't stop with just the map in one gun, does it? We're seeing a whole wave of classic stuff returning.
And that's a really key point. This isn't just, putting a fresh coat of paint on an old map. We're talking about operators people loved, like Rose.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh. And those classic powerhouse weapons like the HDR sniper rifle, the CR-56 AMX, and even those little gameplay things that really made the original Warzone feel unique.
Like what?
Like the specific sounds,
Yeah.
the classic contracts coming back, and even the frantic chaos of the original Gulag showers.
Okay, wow. It really sounds like they're trying to bring back that specific flavor,
Yeah.
That thing that made the original so addictive. Now, for those of you maybe getting a bit restless waiting for the servers, it's probably worth understanding why this kind of long downtime is sometimes needed for updates this big.
Exactly. I mean, when you're bringing back a map as huge and complex as Verdansk, especially with the massive graphical improvements we're hearing about,
Right, the upgrade.
and trying to weave in all this returning content smoothly, you just need a decent chunk of time. You need it for testing, for optimization. This downtime lets the devs iron out potential bugs, make sure the servers can handle it, and basically deliver a much less frustrating experience for everyone when Verdansk actually goes live.
Yeah, avoid a messy launch day.
Precisely. They want to avoid that situation where everything's broken right at the start.
Makes sense. So, okay, if you suddenly got some free time thanks to this 24-hour wait, there are still ways to scratch that Call of Duty itch, right?
Absolutely. You can dive into the Season 3 content in Black Ops 6, jump into multiplayer, maybe try zombies. It's a good chance to check out new maps, mess with different weapons. You might even find a new favorite mode.
Or if you're already thinking about your first drop back into Verdansk, this is like the perfect time to level up weapons in Black Ops 6, unlock those attachments you'll want for your Warzone loadouts, get a bit of a head start.
And importantly, don't forget there's a double XP period active right now. So whether you're just killing time in Black Ops 6 or actively prepping for Warzone, you can make some really good progress, level things up fast while you wait for Verdansk.
Good point. Okay, now, for anyone who might be newer to Warzone or maybe missed the original Verdansk era, there's a very, very good reason why this return is generating so much buzz.
Yeah.
It's widely considered, maybe not by everyone, but by a huge chunk of the player base, to be like the pinnacle of Battle Royale map design in Warzone's history.
And what really made Verdansk special, I think, was how incredibly diverse and just well-designed the whole landscape was. It
Hmm.
wasn't just random buildings. It felt like a real place.
Right.
You had distinct zones, the super dense city fights in downtown, the wide open areas near military base, the craziness around stadium. It just offered such a great mix of combat scenarios. It worked for different playstyles, whether you liked CQC or sniping from afar.
Yeah.
For newer players, this is honestly a chance to see why this map became so legendary. It really set the bar.
And it's not just a straight-up carbon copy of the old map either. You're hearing reports about massive graphical improvements in this new version.
Right.
People who've apparently seen comparisons are saying the visual upgrades are significant. So it's the map you loved, but
Sure.
better looking.
Exactly. They're not just like dusting off the old digital files. They're bringing Verdansk up to speed for current hardware. Think enhanced textures, better lighting, maybe even some subtle tweaks to the environment itself. It should feel familiar, but also look, properly modern and stunning.
Personally, having played a lot on the maps that came after Verdansk,
Yeah.
there's a real pull to go back. It just had a certain flow,
Yeah,
didn't
it
it?
did.
A rhythm, the way the POIs connected, the tactical options, it just clicked for so many people. And thinking about that layout,
Mhm.
combined with all this nostalgic stuff, the guns, the operators, it genuinely feels like it could be a really complete, really exciting package again.
I think that feeling, that anticipation, it's shared by a lot of veteran Warzone players. Verdansk had this strategic depth, this sort of ingrained map knowledge that maybe subsequent maps haven't quite replicated in the same way.
Yeah.
Its design just seemed to naturally support a wider range of tactics, which is probably why it holds such a special place for so many.
Now, look, we get it. A 24-hour wait can feel like forever when you're itching to play your favorite game.
Oh, absolutely. For loads of dedicated players, Warzone isn't just something you play now and then. It's how you hang out with friends, how you unwind, maybe get a bit competitive.
Yeah.
So this pause, even though it's for a good reason, it can definitely feel long.
But hopefully, knowing what's waiting on the other side of it, the return of the legendary Verdansk, all that classic content, plus that free, powerful Kilo 141 just sitting there for you.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes the wait a little bit easier.
Yeah.
The payoff seems pretty substantial this time around.
Ultimately, yeah, this downtime is a temporary bump in the road, but it's paving the way for something really significant, a highly anticipated refresh for Warzone. Bringing back Verdansk isn't just about nostalgia, it's a chance to reignite that spark for older players and let newer folks see what made this map such an icon.
So just to wrap it up, yes, Call of Duty. Warzone is offline right now, but it's all gearing up for a massive event, the huge return of Verdansk. And with it, you're getting a ton of nostalgic goodies and that free, iconic Kilo 141, all for you.
And that actually brings us to a pretty interesting thought for you, the listener. As you're waiting, maybe think about this. What specific spot, what gameplay element from the original Verdansk are you personally most hyped to revisit? Or maybe experience for the first time?
Ooh, good question.
And how do you think this return, with all the classic stuff, is going to change the Warzone meta, the whole feel of the game, in the coming weeks and months? Definitely something to ponder while you wait to drop back in.